Hey girls, just doing your first video review for the spring portion of the season. We know it's preseason and everybody's getting back into the swing of things, so we just want to take a look at a couple of things from the Bethesda match that really, we want to focus on moving forward, especially for this week against Celtic. So main thing for us is defensive shape against an opponent that has a lot of the ball. So we're going to just take a look at that in terms of, what our initial shape looks like, and where you see that there's definitely a gap in between, our front three and a 10, and then our other two midfielders. And then as you see, the area where our back four is going to come into play. So now you can see the big gap in between, back four and midfield. And then, mind you, the ball started right here. So it's really important for us to, really be up here collectively and make sure that we're, applying the most pressure that we can um, in the opponent's half. And, if they look to play us over the top, and when we're in this type of shape, then it'll make things a little bit more difficult um, for them to run 50, 60 yards to score a goal on a breakaway. So again, looking at things, we want to make sure you guys are thinking about it that way in terms of our shape. Because you can see now that they have a lot of spaces to play the ball. They have a lot of places to be able to play the ball into open players, into open players right here. And it's just one ball, and can we have a center back? Just going to back that up. As this is their 9, the number 2 player, can we be tighter on her to make sure that we can maybe even double her? Because now look at our shape. So again, just look at the video or look at the picture here, and you can see all of our players are here, and there's not much pressure on the ball for her to be able to play the ball into this space here. And once they get it over here to this right side, now it opens up all the rest of the field. And again, it's just us running after the ball and trying to make sense of their possession. The other piece of this is, once this ball gets delivered here, our outside backs, you need to make sure that your shape is more connected to our team, with the winger, with our left winger here being connected, because now there's basically a 2v1 against Chaya, if she's able to turn it, or it's even putting her in a 1v1. And now we're in a bit of a pickle. So just in terms of us getting a little free kick here, keeping it simple. I mean, for us, we really want you guys to start to think about what's the best way to move the opponent. Can we play the ball, back across here and then back wide, or even maybe forward? If we play back to Kalen, can we get in a big shape so that we're able to possess the ball? It's just something we want you to think about. So, not to put up against them, but when you look at the difference in their team shape defensively, and it was our free kick, you look at how they're positioned in terms of their entire 10 field players are all within an area where it's going to be difficult for us to break down. So when we say our defensive shape, in the last clip, you saw us here, 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 and here, all and really spread out. So again, we need to focus a little bit more on being collective, and then once they regain, you can see that they have a lot of open space. Even though our effort there is great to try and get on the ball, look how spread out they get right away, and now they have tons of runners. So again, our 3 forwards, our 3 midfielders, and then our back 4 are in this shape. Okay, which is not the shape that we train and not the shape that we want you guys to be in. Obviously, we want a back line, middle 3 and a front 3 together and not all over the place. So again, it's preseason and we know things are going to happen and everybody's getting back into the swing of things, but just a couple of those non-negotiables is making sure that we're in a good shape before anything else, whether we have the ball or don't have the ball. As you can see, another one here where they have a little possession. Count the numbers right here. It's a 5v2 if you count the goalkeeper here, that they've just got this entire quadrant of the field sorted out. As we start to push forward, as we start to get into a little bit more of a shape to try and lock them into one side. This is where Celine or Harlow or Soph or Amylin, any of the forwards, we need you guys to pin her against this line right here. So we want to bend our run to force her to go that way, and then it makes the play predictable and we really keep them to one side. But because we allow her to go side to side, now they're able to break through us. And now you can see just by one pass, they've bypassed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 white jerseys, and now they're out. And now again, if this was one of you, you are now in a situation where you're, having to run all the way across the field there, which obviously is not optimal. So shift back line looks okay. We've got them against the other side. Now it's important to keep them there. Double her against the line, because now if she's able to get the ball across, you can see how many players they have running into the box. Okay. So again, the point of this is we want to try and stop them in their half on their buildup as opposed to getting all the way into our 18, because we don't force play one direction. So now can we keep her against the side? If we can't, now again, you can see our shape, 3 forwards, a big gap in between our 3 midfielders, and lots of space for them. So again, collectively defending or defending in a compact shape, being together. Can we force her, Alex, in that situation? Can we make sure she's going this direction so that all of our players can lock them in going to one side? And that's what we're trying to do in group defending, because once she brings it back, remember, all of us just sprinted all the way across the field here, backs, everybody just shifted, and now she's got the ball. This player has the ball right back into the middle, and she's able to play into open spaces. And there's a runner through the midfield here, which again, our 3 midfielders are right here, and that was their 10 or 8, who now is running through the midfield. With a little bit of space in front of her. And they don't score on that, but you can see that that's something that's building towards what they're trying to accomplish in terms of getting into our final third. So again, shape, 3 forwards, 2 midfielders, 1 midfielder, right back, center backs, left back. Okay, pretty good there, except for now we have a big gap here, so that if the ball gets played in right away, that becomes problematic. And unfortunately, they're able to get the ball out wide here, which, this is our left back here who's kind of put too much pressure. And again, I want you to see what their numbers look like here and what our numbers look like here. So just real quick with the highlight, 1, 2, 3, okay, versus our 1, 2, 3, 4. So we already outnumber them. So we want to make sure, Emmy in this case, or Ella or Emmy, we want to make sure that you look like in that shape so that it's not too easy to get the ball out there. And while they don't get anything out of it, it's just starting to see patterns in how we're, giving up too much time and space. We can't run by players. Once they dribble by us, we've got numbers there. But again, we're looking now at this wide player here who's wide open. And so now once Ella goes, or I think that's Avery, sorry, once Avery goes, again, we want to force her to play that way. We want to force her against the line and not allow her to switch the ball back. Still have pretty good numbers in the middle of the field, but our shape is like this, and they have a wide open player out wide, and she hits it well, and it's something that we're allowing them to get, because of our defensive shape. So again, we're defending 4 versus their 6 if you count their goalkeeper. Can we step tighter there as an outside back? If not, then if we don't apply a lot more pressure, then it makes her able to get out on the pass. Okay, pretty good line here. Again, Sorry, I got to back it up. If their nine is going to receive it, Chaya and Naomi, one of you has to be tight on her. It's just too much to be able to allow her to turn and get into space. And this is, again, a midfielder running through because we don't apply pressure on their nine. She's able to dribble through and find a pass to potentially, get a scoring opportunity. Probably want to clear the danger a little bit more there, get bigger clearances, got to get our feet ready. Not diving in, staying tight. This is much better out here. And now you can apply better pressure to her because you're closer. Even though they're a decent group, if our positioning is good, we should be able to regain possession a lot faster. So just want you guys to watch this. So all outside backs and center back, recognize that this is the 10 right here. And if Ella or any outside back, if you start to step to that, then you leave the space in behind. And you can see how this is more of like a scripted situation here. So because you came in for the 10, that left this player wide open, and now she can run in behind. And this is Chaya and Naomi over there. So it just puts us in a really tough spot. So again, all outside backs, stay disciplined to your shape to protect the space in behind, unless you 100% can win the ball. Just a couple more clips here. Defensive. Once we dive in and get her going forward, it becomes a little problematic for us. And now again, when you draw up the shape or defensive shape on a board, we think about what it's supposed to look like, and then as you watch this, you can see what it does look like. And they have several gaps here where they're able to get the ball in behind. Whether it's a penalty or not a penalty doesn't really matter. We opened up pretty quickly. So this next clip is their kickoff right after we scored a goal. So the reason I want to highlight it is because I want to make sure everybody understands how important the Big Five moment is for every player, and just not just two or three players to work hard in that moment. This is the same possession which they score on immediately, but again, the ball starts here. And what does our shape look like in terms of our defense? Outside back, six, and now they have lots of space to be able to play through. And you could see a lot of white jerseys running around, with too much time and space there to be able to get on the ball. This is the 9 running back. So it's important for us to get tighter on her. Why do we get tighter on the 9 there? Because these two have 0 marks. And even if 10 does run forward, at least we can pick her up. But we're not even challenging their 9, so it becomes problematic for us. And because we didn't do that, we get unbalanced and opened up, and they're able to score a quick goal on us. So again, main thing is that we just scored a goal in that. The second part is it starts in their 18 in their build up, and we've got to be able to end the play well before they get an opportunity to score on us. 5 minutes in under a minute. So just a last clip here, just thinking about ball security and what our shape looks like. So you've seen me show you lots of clips about your defensive shape or our defensive shape when the other team's in possession. So when we gain possession, the way we talked about it after the match, that passing and receiving is important. Getting time and space and opening up with time and space is important. In this scenario here, as I think that's Harlow gets the ball, there's basically a 2 versus 4, that instead of trying to force it into this area right here, maybe we should put our foot on the ball and start to pass and get into a big shape so we can open up ourselves and get better possession. Because right now we've lost the ball, and now we're chasing all over again. And there's a couple of moments here that's a free ball in there. So if Chaya steps in there, it leaves Naomi 1v1. So Emmy, it's important for you to be back here so Chaya can, step to her, and then you can cover her. Opportunity where they could have passed it right in to score. They don't. And it's just a matter of us saying, hey, let's calm down a little bit. Let's get the ball under control and try and, keep possession for a little while. So again, preseason game against a very good opponent, which is good for us to play against a good opponent, just to improve, but also take a look at some of the things we need to work on for the spring season. So look forward to watching you guys play this weekend. Let me know if you have any questions.